Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. So बच्चों हमने सारे grammar concepts अच्छे से पढ़े and now we know about them in detail as well. And we have started implementing them while solving the exercises, while using our writing skills, and now we know to differentiate them also. So बच्चों अब हम करेंगे नया concept which is about comprehension. That we have done in our previous class also, but now we are going to look at that in more detail and understand it in more detail. So comprehension, as you all know, that आपको passages मिलते हैं, poems मिलते हैं, okay, and then based on those passages and poems you will get some questions that you have to answer. So children, in comprehension, okay, it is very important to read the passage very well and thoroughly, okay, so that we are able to answer the questions. So this will enhance your reading skills at the same time, okay, it will enhance your the power of paying attention to the details. Clear? Chalo, let's begin. Hello kids, the word comprehension means to understand, okay, it is the ability to read a text, analyze it and understand what it is about. Okay, exercises given for comprehension are intended to test and improve your ability to understand. Okay, mostly unseen passages or poems are given for comprehension. Since they are not from your textbooks, we also call them unseen passages. Okay, the second name for comprehension is unseen passages. Clear? Chalo. Here are some points to be remembered, okay, and followed for attempting a comprehension passage. Chalo. Firstly, okay, it says read the passage carefully to get its central idea. Second, read again to know the small details. Study the questions. Go to the relevant portions again as you read the questions. Try to find the answers to the given questions. Answer the questions in the same tense in which they have been asked. Do not add anything on your own. So बच्चों ये जो passages होते हैं, okay, आपको उसी passage के portions को उठा के answer में लिखना होता है. इसीलिए आपको उसे detail में पढ़ना होता है. And you have to pay attention to all the minute things. Okay, at the same time you should not add anything of your own in this. Clear? Now read the following story and answer the questions that follow. Chalo, let's practice. The bird and the poison. A landlord was strolling through his estates when he met one of his tenants who presented him a hamper containing a roasted chicken and a bottle of grape juice. The landlord saw one of his servant boys going past and called him and asked him to take the hamper home. Don't open it on the way, he warned. It contains a live bird and a bottle of poison. If you open the basket, the bird will fly away. Okay? The boy, however, was not to be fooled. As soon as he was out of sight of his master, he ducked behind some bushes and opened the hamper. His mouth watered at the sight of the chicken. When the landlord reached home and learnt that the boy had not brought the hamper, he was furious and went in search of him. He found him sleeping contentedly under a tree. He kicked him awake and demanded to know what had happened to his hamper. सो बच्चों ये स्टोरी है जहाँ पे एक लैंडलॉर्ड होता है, उसको जो टेनेंट होता है, लैंडलॉर्ड मतलब पता है ना, द ओनर ऑफ द हाउस इज़ द लैंडलॉर्ड, और उसके अगर उसके पास और कोई घर है या कमरा है जो वो रेंट पे देता है किसी को, ओके, तो वो बन जाते हैं टेनेंट. तो एक दिन एक लैंडलॉर्ड को उसके टेनेंट ने एक हैम्पर दिया था, गिफ्ट हैम्पर दिया, जिसमें उसने रोस्टेड चिकन, ओके, और ग्रेप जूस की बॉटल गिफ्ट की थी उन्हें. तो लैंडलॉर्ड ने अपने सर्वेंट के हाथ में वो बॉक्स दे दिया और उसको बोला कि ये खोलना मत, इसके अंदर एक जिंदा बर्ड है, ओके, और बॉटल है पॉइजन की. तो उसको खोल दोगे तो वो बर्ड उड़ जाएगा, ओके। बट ये लड़का था, चालाक था, उसने देखा जैसे ही मास्टर वहाँ से हट गए, ही ओपन द बॉक्स, ओके, एंड देन ही हैड द रोस्टेड चिकन एंड ही हैड द जूस ऑल्सो, ओके। और फिर जब मास्टर वापस आए, द लैंडलॉर्ड केम बैक, ही सॉ दैट दिस बॉय हैड नॉट ब्रॉट द हैम्पर होम and he had disappeared. So he went searching for him and then he found him in the bushes. Okay, जहाँ पे वो आराम से खा पी के सो रहा था। तो मास्टर ने उसको एक किक लगा दी और उठा दिया नींद से। Okay, I did a very bad thing, said the boy, thinking briefly of the delicious chicken he had eaten. I opened the hamper. You did, eh? Said the landlord grimly. I think I know what's coming next. You ate it, didn't you? Ate what, master? Asked the boy innocently. The moment I opened it, the bird you had told me about hopped out and flew away. The landlord didn't know what to say. Then he remembered the grape juice. And what happened to the juice? He asked triumphantly. Did it fly away too? No, master, said the boy. I was so ashamed of what I had done and so fearful of what you would do that I decided to end my life. I drank the bottle of poison to the last drop and now I'm waiting for it to take effect. Goodbye, master. So, ये लड़का इमीडिएटली जैसे उसको मास्टर ने पूछा क्या हो गया, अपना ड्रामा शुरू कर दिया इसने और कहा कि जैसे ही मैंने वो बॉक्स खोला, ओके, वो जो बर्ड थी वो इट फ्लू अवे। और फिर मास्टर को याद आया कि वो जूस की बॉटल का क्या हुआ। तो वो कहता है कि मुझे इतनी शर्म आ गई कि मैंने आपकी बात नहीं मानी, तो आई ड्रैंक द बॉटल ऑफ पॉइजन, ओके, टिल द लास्ट ड्रॉप, ओके, and now I'm waiting for my death to come. And then he bids goodbye to his master. The landlord aimed another kick at him and stumbled back to his house, feeling rather foolish at being outsmarted by a small boy. तो मास्टर को रियलाइज हुआ कि this smart boy has outsmarted him. तो गुस्से में उन्होंने उसको वापस एक बार किक मार के वो वहाँ से निकल गए. So now children, be smart. I hope you followed this story. It's a very nice and funny story. So let's answer the questions briefly. So quickly attempt these questions, okay? And then you have to write whether certain statements mentioned, okay, here are true or false, okay? And for that what you have to do is you have to refer to the passage, okay? So whenever you are answering the questions or whenever you are attempting any answer, okay, always refer to the passage. आपको passage के हिसाब से ही जाना है. Alright? चलो आगे बढ़ते. Let's read the second one. Read the following story and answer the questions that follow. Okay, the name of the story is In the Jungle. Okay, I was lucky to live in a place called Kaladungi, which was situated in the middle of thick forests. There was a canal near my house. Many animals came to drink water from the canal. It was here that I first learnt how to track animals. In the beginning, the tracks confused me. I could barely make out the difference between the tracks of a sambar, a blue bull, or a pig, or even those of hyenas, leopards, and wild dogs. I began to observe each of these animals. Gradually, I became quite good at this. I could even track snakes and tell whether they were poisonous or harmless. So this is like, this passage is like a story which is being narrated, okay? It's like an autobiography which is being narrated by a person who is telling us about an incident, okay, of his life when he was posted into the forests and how slowly and gradually he started tracking the animals, knowing the animal signs and knowing the difference between poisonous snakes and non-poisonous snakes and all. So each animal has a different call. I used to lie awake at nights listening to their calls. I realized that each of their calls has some meaning. Their calls differ according to the circumstances. जो एनिमल्स की आवाज़ आती है रात को, आप देखोगे सन्नाटे में जो एक आवाज़ आती है एनिमल्स की, दे आर लाइक डिफरेंट कॉल्स, तो जैसे सर्कमस्टेंसेस होंगे, सिचुएशंस होंगे, उसके हिसाब से उनके भी अपने मे बी टू कॉल देयर ओन टाइप ऑफ एनिमल, दे हैव अ कॉल. Okay, that's how they communicate with each other. For instance, a warning call is quite different from the one that is used to call young ones. Okay, जब आप देखोगे, आप जब जंगल सफारी के लिए जाते हो, तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप जिम कॉर्बेट जाओगे तो आप देखोगे कि कभी कभी आपको जो जीप वाला होता है वो अंकल कहते हैं कि रुक जाओ, साउंड मत करो, आई कैन हियर द मंकीज़, ओके, स्क्वीकिंग. तो मंकीज़ जो साउंड करते हैं तो उनको लगता है कि मंकीज़ जनरली नो व्हेन द टाइगर और द लायन इज नियर, ओके, एंड देन दे स्टार्ट मेकिंग अ स्क्वीकिंग साउंड, ओके. तो तभी जाके बाकी एनिमल्स जो होते हैं वो अलर्ट हो जाते हैं. सो दैट्स हाउ they make a sound. So these sounds, okay, they are always, warning call is always different than a call of calling a young one, okay. A hunter must know how to walk noiselessly in the forest. He must know how to climb trees. He must be alert and always keep his eyes open. He must be able to spot the slightest movement among the trees. Very often this can make a big difference, okay, the difference between life and death. So he is telling that hunter की life जो होती है वो काफ़ी different होती है. They have to be very cautious. They can't make noise, okay. They should know how to climb tree. तो अगर ज़रूरत पड़ेगी, animal आता है, wild animal आता है, they should be in a position to climb the tree and save themselves, okay. So these are very different qualities that are required to be a good hunter. Okay, otherwise if they don't follow these rules, they can die, okay. I often amused myself by imitating the calls of animals and birds. I was best at imitating the growls of tigers and leopards. My world changed forever when Robin came into my life. I first met him when he was barely 3 months old. He was a dirty little puppy and I did not want to keep him. But when he licked me and curled himself over my feet, I did not have the heart to turn him away. I bathed and fed him. His friendliness and intelligence won me over and we became friends for life. तो उसके जीवन में एक छोटा सा पपी आया जो पहले तो काफ़ी डर्टी सा था. He didn't want to keep him, but then he kept him. He gave him a bath, he fed him. उसका नाम भी रखा Robin, okay, and then they became friends, okay. When he was old enough, I took him into the jungle. He was a good pupil and quickly learnt many things, including how to bring back the peafowl that I had shot. One day when we were on our way home, Robin saw a troop of langurs. He charged after one of them. I whistled to call him, but he ran on. The langur easily escaped by climbing up a tree. He then chased the rest of the troop. He followed a few of them into some bushes, but ran out at once. तो जो रॉबिन था, he followed langurs, okay, and then he saw that the one that he was following, he hid on the tree, but the others, they ran into the bushes and then he couldn't trace them. So the langurs were calling out a warning. तो langurs जो थे वो warning दे रहे थे. They had spotted a leopard. I knew that it was hiding somewhere. It could attack at any moment, and it did. Suddenly the leopard sprang at Robin. I fired my rifle. At the sound of the shot, Robin ran for cover. The leopard lay dead. Robin crawled out from under a bush. I was glad to see that he was unhurt. What a narrow escape it was. Robin learned never to disobey my whistle again. He also learned never to chase langurs and to heed their call. When langurs give a warning call, it means that a leopard is nearby. तो जैसे ही लंगूर्स ने वो कॉल, जो हंटर था उसको तो समझ में आया कि शायद से वो एक कॉल दे रहे दैट देयर इज़ अ वाइल्ड एनिमल नियर बाय. सो वैसे ही वहाँ पे एक लेपर्ड था, ओके, जो लेपर्ड ने रॉबिन को पकड़ लिया था. एंड देन द हंटर शॉट एट द लेपर्ड. Okay, now Robin realized that he should never disobey his master, okay, and he should always pay attention to the calls of the langurs, okay. Robin lived to the ripe age of 13. We shared many exciting adventures. He was the best and the most faithful friend I ever had. If you visit my garden at Kaladungi, you will see his grave there. So this is such a beautiful passage. It's a story, okay, from the hunter's mouth about how he lived in the forest, okay, how he made a friend in the forest and how he started accepting the different forest life and understanding the different animals. So quickly children, read this passage because you have to start answering the questions. Okay, then you have to discuss also in the class about certain things. All right, you also have to find synonyms. Synonyms means the meanings, okay, similar sounding words, similar meaning words, the words that have similar meaning. Okay, turn the following words into nouns. अभी आपको ये जो fourth है इसमें आपको words को nouns में change करना है. Alright, you will all find these things in the passage itself. So, quickly read the passage carefully and start answering the questions. Let's move on to our next one. Read the following poem and answer the questions that follow. The wild swans at cool. The trees are in their autumn beauty. The woodland paths are dry. Under the October twilight, the water mirrors a still sky. Upon the brimming water among the stones are 59 swans. The 19th autumn has come upon me since I first made my count. I saw before I had well finished all suddenly mount and scatter wheeling in great broken rings upon their clamorous wings. I have looked upon those brilliant creatures and now my heart is sore. All's changed since I hear at twilight, the first time on the shore. The bell beat of their wings above my head, trod with a lighter tread. Unwearied still, lover by lover, they paddle in the cold, companionable streams or climb the air. Their hearts have not grown old. Passion or conquest, wander where they will, attend upon them still. But now they drift on the still water, mysterious, beautiful, among what rushes will they build? By what lake's edge or pool? Delight men's eyes when I awake some day to find they have flown away. This poem is written by W.B. Yeats. So children, आप देखोगे यहाँ पे it's talking about the birds. Okay, these birds are generally migrating birds that this poem is mentioning about and this poet is mentioning about. So he's talking about so many swans that he's been seeing. Okay, and आप इसको देखोगे end में वो क्या कह रहा है कि I wonder कि जब मैं आँखें खोलूँगा someday whether they will be there in the pond or they will not be there. Or they must have moved on somewhere is what he's talking about. So now you have to reread this poem and answer the questions nicely. Okay, you will see the first one you have to do, take the correct option to answer each of the following questions. The word wheeling means the birds in cage, distress, beauty or motion. It means they are in motion. Okay, they are always traveling. Okay, the poem is poet क्या बोल रहा है हमें? The trees are in their autumn beauty. तो मतलब autumn का महीना आ गया है. The woodland paths are dry. तो autumn के महीने में generally आप देखोगे that the leaves are getting dried up and they are falling. Okay, under the October twilight, the water mirrors a still sky. Okay, upon the brimming water among the stones are 59 swans. तो वो बोल रहा है कि जो brimming water है, जो जिस वाटर में स्काई का रिफ्लेक्शन आ रहा है उस पानी में he sees around 59 swans. Okay, the 19th autumn has come upon me. मतलब the poet is now 19 years old since I first made my count. I saw before I had well finished all suddenly mount and scatter wheeling in great broken rings. Okay, upon their clamorous wings. तो मतलब वो अपने जो विंग्स होते हैं उनको वो क्लैमर करते, मतलब वो गोल गोल घूमते रहते हैं वहाँ पे रिंग्स में. ओके, आई हैव लुक्ड अपॉन दोस ब्रिलियंट क्रीचर्स. तो मतलब पोएट जो है उनको हमेशा देखता है. ओके, एंड नाउ माई हार्ट इज सोर. ऑल इज चेंज सिंस आई हियरिंग एट ट्वाइलाइट द फर्स्ट टाइम ऑन दिस शो. मतलब चीज़ें चेंज होते जा रही है. ओके, द बेल बीट ऑफ देयर विंग्स अबाव माई हेड. ओके, ट्रॉड विद अ लाइटर ट्रेड. तो आपने देखा, मतलब वो बता रहे जो जब ये बर्ड्स उड़ते हैं तो उनके पंखों से आवाज़ आती है. ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. तो मतलब ही इज टेलिंग अस दैट अनवेरिड स्टिल, ओके. Level by level they paddle in the cold. मतलब धीरे धीरे वो उस ठंड में भी वो चलते रहते हैं. ओके. कंपेनिएबल स्ट्रीम्स और क्लाइम द एयर. मतलब वो स्ट्रीम्स के साथ बहने की कोशिश करते हैं, उनमें चलने की कोशिश करते हैं, हवा में उड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं. ओके. Their hearts have not grown old, passion or conquest, wander where they will attend upon them still. तो वो वही बता रहा है कि वो जैसे ही मतलब धीरे धीरे उनकी भी एज हो रही है. ओके. बट their conquest, their passion has still not ended. Okay. But now they drift on the still water. तो जो बहता पानी था अब वो still हो गया है. Okay. Mysterious, beautiful, among what rushes will they build? By what lake's edge or pool? Delight men's eyes when I awake someday to find they have flown away. मतलब धीरे धीरे पानी कम हो रहा है. It's getting stiller. Okay. So he is always wondering, जब मेरी आंखें खुलेगी ये birds यहाँ पे होगी या नहीं होगी, because पानी कम होते जा रहा है. So this is a beautiful poem. Okay. And you have to answer these questions that follow. Okay. Always try to understand the passage and then start answering the questions. Let's move on to our next one. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions that follow. Neighbors. A mouse living in a farmhouse peeped out from his hole one day and got the shock of his life. The farmer was displaying a mouse trap to his wife. Panic-stricken, he ran out to consult his neighbors, but they were not at all helpful. Poor you, said the dog. Bad luck, clucked the hen. Obviously, master does not want you around, said the goat, laughing noisily. Watch your step. Okay. So, मतलब फार्म हाउस में एक माउस था. उसने जैसे ही बाहर झाँक के देखा अपने होल से, तो उस घर में जहाँ पे वो रहता था उस फार्मर ने एक माउस ट्रैप लाया. ओके. तो वो जाके अपने नेबर्स के पास जाता है. तो डॉग कहता है पुअर यू. ओके. हैन कहते हैं बैड लक. ओके. जो गोट होती है वो कहते हैं शायद मास्टर डजंट वांट यू. ओके. सो फिर वो और फिर उसको मजाक में बोलती है कि वॉच योर स्टेप. Okay. Quite frightened, the mouse stayed back in his hole that night, not daring to go out, though he was faint with hunger. Hardly had the lights in the house been extinguished when a loud sound was heard. The farmer's wife came out of the bedroom and picked up the trap. In the darkness, she did not see the snake dangling from it. The snake bit her and she fell unconscious. ओके. तो अब ये माउस डर के अपने होल में छुपा रहता है. उसको बहुत भूख लगती है फिर भी वो बाहर नहीं आता. सडनली एक साउंड आ जाता है. तब वो जो फार्मर की वाइफ है वो बाहर आती है. उसको रियलाइज नहीं होता है कि एक स्नेक है वहाँ पे हु हैज़ बिटन हर लेग. ओके. और फिर वो अनकॉन्शियस होके गिर जाती है. द फार्मर रेंडर्ड वॉट एवर फर्स्ट एड ही कुड एंड देन मैड विथ एंगर एट द डॉग फॉर लेटिंग द स्नेक कम इन शॉट द एनिमल. His wife developed fever the next day and became very weak. Somebody told the farmer that chicken soup would restore her strength. So he killed the hen and made soup. The woman died a few days later. A lot of relatives came for the funeral and stayed on. The farmer slaughtered the goat to feed them. By a twist of irony, the trap had destroyed everyone except the one it had been intended for. फिर जब वो फार्मर को रियलाइज होता है कि दैट शी इज़ बीन बिटन बाय द स्नेक. ओके. और फिर वो गुस्से में आ जाता है और वो जो डॉग होता है उसको ही किल्स द डॉग सेइंग दैट यू कुड नॉट सेव, यू कुडंट रेज द स्नेक. ओके. फिर उसकी बीवी को बुखार आता है. तो किसी ने उसको कहा कि आप चिकन सूप पिला दो. तो वही देन ही किल्स द हेन एंड मेक्स अ चिकन सूप आउट ऑफ इट एंड गिव्स हिज वाइफ. ओके. उसके बाद थोड़े दिन में द वाइफ डाइज. ओके. फिर जो रिलेटिव्स आते हैं उनको खाने के लिए फिर देन ही हैड टू स्लॉटर द गोट टू फीड द रिलेटिव्स. सो इफ यू सी दैट बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रैप so many other people died, but the mouse for whom it was intended to be. Okay. So children, I hope you followed the story and understood it well. Now quickly do the question answers. Okay. Be smart. Take the correct option to answer each of the following questions. Passage की help लेनी है और questions को answer करना है. Answer the following questions. Join the pairs of sentences using appropriate conjunctions. ये सब कुछ हमने grammar में किया है, so you can easily answer all these questions and comprehension can be done easily. पता है एग्जाम में स्कोर करने के लिए कॉम्प्रिहेंशन इज द बेस्ट, okay, because you can get full marks for it. All right. So children, get going and start doing this comprehensions.